What's happening, NXPT? I'm Andrea, performance dietitian and fellow NXPT member. We are coming to the end of our fitness results challenge, and hopefully, all the things that you have been putting into place during these 6 weeks, you are going to continue to do. I wanted to talk a little bit about what to expect on your final scan, and maybe if you didn't get the results that you were hoping for, what you can do about it, or maybe how to interpret those. And then I'm also going to talk a little bit about supplements at the end. So go to Kearney Mesa, get your final scan in. Ideally, you are going to do the scan the same time of day and like the same situation that you did your initial scan in. It's really important when we're trying to find the difference between two measurements to try to keep everything the same that you can so that you can really see true differences. So if you went in the morning, try to go in the morning again. If you went in the afternoon, before or after you'd worked out, try to do that same thing again if your schedule allows. Our body composition can actually change even within a day just because of our hydration status. And so if you can keep that constant, then you're more likely to be able to see a change. Now, when you're looking at your results, I personally think the most important thing is to look at your lean body mass or your muscle mass. You want that to either stay the same, which is positive, or to increase. And of course, everyone is also going to be looking at their body fat percent, but I think that really muscle is the most important thing. So that should be maintained, or hopefully you gained a little bit of muscle. Gaining muscle does take time. So if you didn't see a huge difference, then that's okay. Additionally, important is that your strength in the gym can increase without your muscle size necessarily getting bigger. So hypertrophy, which is like increasing muscle size, and muscular strength, there's a lot of like neuromuscular components that go into your strength as well. So you could still have gotten a lot stronger in the gym, even if you didn't gain a whole bunch of muscle mass, and that's totally okay. It takes a lot of time to put on muscle. Also, if you were in a calorie deficit and trying to lose weight, if you kept your protein intake really high, then hopefully you're able to maintain your lean body mass. However, if you were trying to lose weight, it is possible that you lost a little bit of muscle along with hopefully fat. So don't beat yourself up about that. You can always work to, continue progressive overload in the gym, work to put on muscle and at least maintain the muscle that you have. So it just depends. Like if you had a lot of weight to lose and you did lose a lot of weight, I would expect that to be both fat and muscle. Of course, we want to try to minimize the muscle loss with keeping protein intake really high, but it does happen. Body fat percent is usually what people look at right away. And just a reminder that nobody can have zero body fat. We do need body fat, especially around our, essential organs. It's important in hormone production, and it does have roles in the body. So normal body fat percentage for women is anywhere from 15 to up to 30%. For men, it's a little lower. I would say like 10 to 25%. So if you have made any improvements in that category, I would consider that a win. And just know that changing your tissue takes time. Any changes that you would see in, shorter than a 6 week period, or even like day-to-day changes in both your body weight or any body composition is really going to just come down to fluids. They've actually done a study where they took people's body composition early in the morning with the same method that we use at NXPT, which is called bioimpedance analysis. And the way that the body composition machine works is that you stand on those little pads, those little sensors, and it sends a super low grade current, like even much less than a microwave, through your body. And the current travels at different speeds between different tissues. So, because electricity is conducted differently if there's a lot of water in the tissue versus if there's not a lot of water. And so it travels at different speeds through muscle and fat. And so by the speed that it's traveling, it can estimate how much muscle and how much fat that you have. So if you can imagine, if you chug a ton of water, then the weight on the scale is going to go up, and the machine usually favors additional fat mass when you've done that, even though it's just water. So they literally did a study where participants had their body composition measured. They drank a 16-ounce water bottle and they measured their body composition again. And because their weight slightly went up, the body composition machine added that to their fat mass, which was totally false, of course, because it was just water. So that just goes to show you how sensitive those measurements are to hydration. So again, don't beat yourself up if you don't see the results that you were hoping for. It could be a ton of different things going on. If you did try to keep your conditions and time of day the same between both measurements, that's the best that you can do. For the ladies out there, if you are not taking hormonal birth control and you just have a natural menstrual cycle, of course, the average length of a cycle is around 28 days or about a month. And so 6 weeks, you're going to be in a different phase of your cycle, each of those measurements. So it generally is understood that the second half of your menstrual cycle or your luteal phase, you retain a little bit more water. This is when, you could be feeling bloated and a little heavier. And so if that's your second scan, just know that it's probably where you're at in your cycle and not like true, for example, fat gain or something like that. So when your body holds on to water, obviously that's going to look like your weight has gone up, but it really hasn't. So look at other improvements that you have made. If your numbers from your scan aren't the best, then just look at all the other positive things that you have gained during this challenge. Have you come up with a new routine and you have really committed to going to the gym 4 or 5 classes or more per week? The body craves routine, and when you can get into that habit, you are really going to benefit from that. Have you had a better mood because of your workouts? Maybe you're not as moody or irritable around your family members, around your coworkers. That is a huge win. Maybe you're stronger, so maybe you can carry all your groceries in from your car on one trip, or it's easier for you to pick up your kids or hold your kids or play with family members. These are all positive things that all came from working out. So it's not just about the number on the scale, it's about all of these other things. Energy level is a huge one that I see people increase, and also quality of sleep. So people tend to sleep better when they're exercising regularly. Their energy level throughout the day is better. Their mood is better. There's so many benefits of working out, getting stronger, of course. Again, even if your muscle size doesn't increase, you can definitely get stronger. And you can tell that by if you're able to do more reps before putting the weight down, or if you're just using heavier dumbbells, kettlebells, heavier barbells in the gym. That's all positive results. So keep it up and keep coming to the gym. I also wanted to talk a little bit about supplements just really quickly. Supplements is a huge topic, and if you have individual questions, you can find me or email me. But in general, I just want everybody to know that supplements in the US are not regulated. And so you want to make sure that what you're buying with your supplements is actually a good quality product and what it says on the label is actually in the product. So how to do this is make sure that you are buying a supplement, or like let's say a protein powder that's third party tested. So it's either going to have USP on the label, informed choice, NSF, or NSF for sport. And you can make sure that those logos are on the label. You can also go to those websites and type in your supplement and see if it comes up. I would say that I could blanketly say that most people would benefit from a protein powder. I recommend whey protein powder if you can tolerate whey. Whey is the protein that comes from milk. So some people, if you're vegan or you just want to avoid animal products, then that's not for you. But if you can tolerate whey, whey is the best protein. It has the highest amino acid digestibility score, which means that it's getting digested, absorbed into your muscles the quickest. Most protein powders that are whey are either going to be whey isolate, which is the best because it's pure protein, or whey concentrate, which is still really good, but not as high of a protein content per volume. And then most actually whey protein powders are a blend of the two. So if you see whey isolate and whey concentrate blend, that's perfectly fine. Most protein powders are going to be about 25 grams per scoop, which is a good amount for most people. Really big, strong guys might need a scoop and a half, but most people can do just fine with like 20, 25 grams, maybe 30 grams in their protein powder. If you do not tolerate whey or you are avoiding animal products, there are plant-based protein powders out there. They're usually going to be a blend of like pea, potato, rice, corn to get all the essential amino acids that you're getting from like whey and animal products are so easy to get protein because they have all the essential amino acids. When you're getting protein from plant foods, you need to have this huge variety in this blend, which usually makes it a little higher calorie and not as easy for your body to digest and absorb, but it's still effective. So if you want a plant protein powder, just make sure that it has high quality and that it has at least 3 grams of leucine, which is an important amino acid that helps with muscle growth and maintenance. Other supplements that I could like probably blanket recommend for people are things like omega-3, creatine, and vitamin D. Other than that, all the supplements are going to be on a definitely like individual basis, and it's going to depend on your health history and your goals for what would be right for you. But most people can benefit, of course, I already said protein powder, and then creatine monohydrate is a energy source for quick burst movements, which is like everything we do in NXPT. So it can help with building and maintaining muscle mass. It can also help with brain function. So they've done studies where people that are sleep deprived, if they have a high dose of creatine, they do better on like cognitive function tests. So not an excuse if you're not getting enough sleep, but just another benefit that creatine has. Creatine, you want to be looking for creatine monohydrate, and the dose is 5 grams per day. Omegas, DHA is the important one, around 500 milligrams to 1,000 milligrams per day is the dose there. And then vitamin D, it's best if you can get your vitamin D level checked from your doctor in your blood, and that can kind of guide what you need to take. We do live here in San Diego where it's sunny year round, but a lot of people don't get outside to get their skin exposed to be able to make vitamin D from the sun or we go outside and we, wear sunscreen and all that. So getting your vitamin D level checked by your doctor, just ask at your next kind of routine checkup. And most people can probably benefit from taking 1,000 to 5,000 international units of vitamin D per day. If you have any other questions, you can find me in the gym or you can email me, and I will see everybody soon.